Hello! In this lesson, we'll rig our cartoon character with bones. First, start a new Moho project file, and then go up to File, Import, Moho Object, locate your Moho file that has your cartoon character in it, click on it and click Open. All of the parts of your drawing should be in a bone folder already, so you should just have one thing to click on and click OK. Next, go up to the top menu, click on Window, Docking, and Layers. That should pop out your Layers panel, and you can set it over here. You're going to want to have a really good view of all of these layers. Next, if you still have your image file in there, delete that, and then click on your top bone folder for your cartoon character. Over in Tools, click on Set Origin, and then set the origin right around your cartoon character's waist. Next, go up to File, Save As, and name it whatever your cartoon character's name is, and also add the word rigged, and click Save. Be sure that you're still on frame 0, and before we start drawing the bones onto the character, I want to point out a couple of things. Over in Tools, I'm going to click on the Add Bone tool here. And remember that you don't want to just click, click, click. These are pin bones. We aren't going to be working with pin bones. So if you accidentally get a pin bone, then you need to delete that. You can do that by clicking on Select Bone and clicking on that and hitting Delete key on your keyboard, or by clicking dragging to select several of them and hit Delete key on your keyboard. So what you want to do when you add a bone is click drag. Okay? We'll be working from the waist up first, so I'm going to zoom in. Now click on the Add Bone tool, and the first one that we do is a bone that's at the waist, and you can hold down Shift key when you click and drag so that the bone will stay nice and straight and it won't wiggle around. And just put a kind of a small bone right there. Bones show up as red when they're active, and you want this bone to still be active when you draw the next one. And that one will be here, which would be kind of around the belly button of this character. So I'll hold Shift again, click drag to about there. And while this one is still active, I'll point to that small tip of the bone, hold Shift down, click and drag, and go to about there. And while that one's still active, I'm going to go here and hold Shift key down and click and drag a little bit into the head. Just like that. If yours are a little bit bigger and they take a bit more space there in this part of your character's body, don't worry about it too much. I might even resize mine to make them a little bit bigger here in a while. Next we'll do the bones for the front arm, but we have to activate this bone first. You can hold down your Alt key on your keyboard and point over top of this bone and click on it until you see that that has become highlighted in red. And then you want to add a bone starting here at the shoulder. You don't necessarily have to hold Shift key down right here because your arm may not be perfectly straight down. So just go to where the center of that elbow joint is supposed to be. And with this bone still active, click and drag down to around where the wrist would be. And then you'd want to make one more bone in here for the hand. Next we'll do the other arm, but first let's turn off the torso because we want to be sure that we put the bone in the center. So go over here to Layers, click on the torso eyeballs or whatever you named that part of the body, and back over here to the character, hold Alt key down to activate this bone again, and then draw this bone here and the next one to the wrist, and one for the hand. All of these bones may need adjustments to their length and their positioning, and we can do that later on without any trouble. Now we need to put the bones down there in the legs and the feet, so I'm going to move up here. And these will be connected to that first bone that we made there in the waist. That's like the control bone for the whole body, the whole figure. So holding Alt key down on my keyboard, well, if I go over here to add bone first, and then holding Alt key down on my keyboard, I'll select this little waist bone now. Then I can add a bone in here and about to the knee part and follow through here with a bone to the ankle and one at a little bit of an angle for the shoe or the foot. Again, going back up, activating this little waist bone, the control bone for the body, and then a bone here down to the knee, another bone down to the ankle, and a bone in here for the foot. Now here's a fun part you're just going to love. With this foot bone here still active, look up here and you'll see that it's been named B16. Well, click in there and name it foot back or shoe back, and then go over here to Tools and click on the Select Bone tool there, and then click on the other bone for the front foot and name that foot front, and then work your way up and name this, let's see, this is the lower leg front, and this would be upper leg front. Okay, so you get the idea. We need to name all of these bones. Okay, we have to be able to identify them when we need to. So I'm going to pause and finish naming these. Get all of your bones named. Okay, I've named all my bones, and if you were concerned that you missed any, all you need to do, while you have your Select Bone tool activated over here, you can click right on this drop down, and here's the whole list of them, right? And for that main one at the waist, you can call that Control Bone, is a pretty good name for that one. So I'm going to split this up. I'll pause now, and I'll continue in the next video.